Howdy everyone, how's it going? It's Lazarus here, back with another video. Today I'm going to show you how to care and breed for angelfish in an aquarium and keep them alive and healthy. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Angelfish are by far one of the most angelic, graceful community fish in the fish keeping hobby. There are many varieties, including standard angelfish, marbled angelfish, and koi angels, and so it goes on. Angelfish are great fish for that heavily planted community aquarium. It's originated from Amazonian waters in the rivers and creeks. They prefer live plants, and the best plants to go with these fish are Amazon swords, but are fine with most other beginner plants. Typically, the angelfish should be a perfect beginner fish, but just as long as your tank is big enough. Angelfish exceed a maximum size of 6 inches, 15 centimeters long, but can grow unbelievably tall due to their dorsal, anal, and pectoral fin. So I'd recommend a minimum tank size of 160 liters, 40 gallons long, as they need room to swim around, but also ensure that the tank is tall enough. Since these fish come from the Amazon, they prefer soft and hard water in a pH range of 6.5 to 7.5. To lower the pH, you can add organic potting soil, driftwood, or dead leaves to the aquarium, and that'll naturally do the job. Angelfish will thrive with many other fish, as long as they're not too small for the angelfish to eat, and that they aren't a very active fish, because super active fish tend to pick on the angelfish and have a go at its fins, such as danios, tiger barbs, and small tetras. So do make sure the fish you are putting the angelfish in the same tank in with is compatible and not a fin nipper. Since angelfish are so beautiful and colorful, depending on what species you get, they look amazing in heavily planted tanks. As I said earlier, Amazon sword is a great plant, but a mix will look beautiful and most likely will make the angelfish look more vibrant and colorful. You can keep angelfish with gravel, sand, or dirt as substrate, but honestly, a dirted tank with a layer of sand on top will look great, in my opinion. Angelfish are certainly not picky on their foods. They'll eat anything ranging from prepared foods, frozen foods, and live foods. When angelfish grow to their maximum size, they have big mouths, so they'll be able to eat small fish such as tiny tetras or rasboras. So make sure to be careful, and if you do have tiny fish in with your angelfish, a heavily planted tank should provide lots of hiding places for the small fish. I like to feed angelfish frozen bloodworms, pellets, flakes, and mosquito larvae when I can, and they loved it. But now my angelfish is in a new home now because my original 90-liter aquarium was clearly not big enough. Now it is in a 40-gallon long aquarium. So if you have angelfish and you now realize there's not enough room, or you want angelfish but you don't have a big enough tank for them, well, don't worry. As long as it's a decent size, you can raise the angelfish from a 4-centimeter one and keep it for about half a year. Then find it a new home via online, or a local aquarium store should probably accept it. Then you can get more and do that again and again if you are up to it. Just note that most aquarium stores won't pay you for returning your fish to them and will just take them for free unless they were fry you raised from newborn. Keeping angelfish was really fun experience. They give lots of joy in the aquarium hobby. They are such a curious fish and have such great personalities, as they will sometimes like to play with you. This was what my angelfish was originally in when I kept it, and by the looks of it, I had kept it in for too long. Whoops. And now this is my angelfish in its permanent home at my LFS called Coburg Aquarium. Look how happy it is, and it even has a friend. Okay, now here's the exciting thing. If you keep a couple of angelfish, male and female, breed them and raise about 20 to 50 fry and give them to a pet store, they will give you lots of credit. Since angelfish are such a high demand fish, meaning it's very popular and lots of people want to buy them, the local aquarium store will for sure take those fry to sell, and in return, most of the time you'll get credit. Credit is a certain amount of money, or whatever you'd like to call it, but basically next time you go to the store, you can use that free credit to buy food, aquarium chemicals, fish, etc. So it can come in handy, whereas at some LFS give you straight up money. I'm now going to tell you how to make some profit out of the angelfish. Breeding angelfish is a process. The process starts when the fish are juveniles. A group of 6 to 8 youngsters is chosen. They are placed in a 60-gallon tank and bred to adulthood. As the angelfish reach maturity, and a pecking order is established. When compatible males and females pair off with the usual mouth-to-mouth wrestling and start to stay apart from others, then you know you have a pair. To breed angelfish, the preferred pH of the water is 6.7. The water temperature should be about 26 degrees Celsius, 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Buy a test kit and test the water. If the water is less than 6.5, then add sodium bicarbonate. If it is more than 7.2, add some sodium biphosphate. You will need a bonded pair of angels, male and female. The best way to do this is to buy a group of young angels. About 8 is a good number, but certainly not less than 6 angels. Then let them grow up together until they are about 1 year old. At this point, there will be a lot of mouth-to-mouth wrestling where the fish will be testing each other for health based on strength and endurance. The angels themselves will select the best suited pairs. When a pair separates from the rest of the group for several days, then you know you have a pair. Move the pair to a clean tank with no gravel or floor covering. In the tank, place several Amazon swords in pots and some pieces of slate or side of a clay pot. Now you need to prime the fish for mating. This may take up about a week or more. Feed them with a variety of live food and frozen food 4 times a day. Change 10% of the water per day with aged water. Maintain the pH of the aged water with the same as the tank water. Siphon off all debris and droppings from the bottom of the tank to maintain cleanliness. Use a sponge filter in the tank. Never clean up the sponge with tap water. Instead, use a bucket of aged water and squash out the dirt. If they don't start breeding, then increase the temperature to 28 to 30 degrees Celsius, 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Then every day, simulate rain by pouring aged oxygenated cooler water into the tank and use an air pump with an air stone to oxygenate the water. Once the fish start to lay eggs, perhaps on an Amazon plant or on a slate, absolutely minimize any disturbance to the fish tank. Remember, fish detect vibration from footsteps. A disturbance may trigger them to eat their eggs, so it is better to leave well alone after they have spawned. Add some methylene blue or similar fungicide to reduce the risk of fungus attacking on the eggs. Keep an eye on the fish. If they start to eat their own eggs, then they will have to be removed from the fish tank. But make sure they are eating the eggs and not just cleaning them and picking out unfertile eggs. If this happens, then place an air stone underneath the eggs so that a steady stream of bubble flows over the eggs. This should keep them clean the way that the adult angels cleaned the eggs. Eggs hatch in 3 days and the young fry will become detached from the slate plant at about 5 days. At this point, the fry eat off the yolk sac that they were born with. Once this is absorbed about day 10, they can start to be fed live food. Baby brine shrimp, newly hatched, is the ideal food as well as microworms. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!